Indeed. And greetings unto you, beloved and holy friend. Thank you for joining me again, for sharing another moment, for having faith enough that there might be something of value shared in these moments, and for having faith enough to show up for that as well. I appreciate you so much, more than I can say. Seriously. Joy Vive, I see you, friend. Sending you so much love. Today we're going to talk about faith. Hey Google, what's the definition of faith? Let me know. The kitties are aggressively playing. What's the definition of bay? Hey Google, what's the definition of faith? Oh, I'm getting triggered. I'm getting triggered. The definition of, use my little meat stickies. There we go. Let's see. There we go. Faith, complete trust or confidence in something or someone. You friends know that I don't necessarily like the idea of giving my faith to someone, but this something that I have given all of my faith to is love, right? Faith in my mind is a complete trust to the point of being willing to show up for it, right? To live your life according to it, to let go of old perceptions that might not be aligned with it, right? And I've been thinking a lot, you friends probably as well. You know, we've been having some we've been having some interesting conversations, especially faith-based ones. The last while meat bag go burr, look at them butterflies. We got butterflies in the big. I'm so happy. I have faith that love is true, right? I have faith in transformation. I have faith in you. I have faith in you, right? I have faith that if we as human beings start showing up, right, for whatever it is you feel you need to show up for, if we all start showing up for love, for the thing we believe is loving, this world will change. And I have enough faith in that fact in my mind that I'm willing to die for it. I'm willing to go the whole of my life, all of the infinity I'll ever have access to see that through. And the fact that you friends are doing that with me, it redoubles my faith for every single name I see, right? Sam, more faith. Shan, more faith. Joy Vive, more faith. Toast Malosty, more faith. Duck Dad, too. So much faith in all of you. It's like I'm serious. I'm actually serious, right? Like I've never seen a piece of content, heard a message, experienced even in psychedelic depth, let's call it, the amount of conviction you friends fill me with. Hey Google, what's the definition of conviction? Not convection. Man, do I really sound that bad? Conviction. Hey Google. Okay, there we go. There's a button that says define conviction. A formal declaration by the verdict of a jury. Oh, that's a little bit much. A firmly held belief. There we go. Thank you. A firmly held belief or opinion. I don't think it's going to be easy, right? I feel like that is something that needs to be stressed as well. It's probably not going to be easy. Things are probably gonna break, right? Things are probably going to change radically. And like I'm holding so many fractals in my mind these days. I've been suggested movies. Uh, I wish Brother Ryan was here right now so I could share with him. I wanted to share with him in the yoga, but I didn't get to. One of my friends, Armand, who is also very much a devout Christian, uh, ended up watching that movie that I talked about very briefly with Ruben, Mother. And that movie isn't necessarily something that I enjoyed watching, right? The whole of the movie, my heart was breaking, longing to take care of Mother, right? Mother Earth, to be more compassionate, to hear her voice, to listen to her heart. And it felt like that wasn't happening while I was watching that movie, at least from that perspective, right? And it was intentionally done so. And then he suggested I watch this movie called Silence. And I'm 41 minutes in right now. And it's basically this movie about a letter that was sent by a priest who went to Japan to teach the gospel, but then apparently he apostatized, I believe is the word they used. He abandoned his faith so that he could survive, right? And then these two priests go to Japan to go and find this priest to clear him of the slander. I'm like trying to keep all of these fractals in my mind. So I'm watching this movie suggested by this friend, and one of the lines that was like really trippy to me that they shared is that for the longest time, at least in some places of the world, before there was religion, before there was faith in a God like the Christian theology, people were treated poorly, right? And these priests brought to people a message that they are children of God, right? That they are creatures of God and needs to be treated as such more than just animals. And I'm tripping out about that as like an idea, right? That faith was a medium for people to believe that they are more than just animals. But I don't know if faith is necessary for that, right? That's the other part of the fractal that I'm experiencing. That sure, things were pretty bad for the longest time in our history. Things were pretty bad. And we talked about priorities, right? Priorities becoming reevaluated. What's the exact word that I used yesterday? uh, Responsibility. My responsibilities have been prioritized differently because of my upbringing, because of my current circumstances, because of what I have faith in, right? What I have faith in is, by extension, affecting what I prioritize in my life. And our message that we're trying to share with each other, with the world, is that God is in you, right? God is not beyond you. God is not something in the sky, right? God is not waiting for you in heaven. God is here right now. And that little bird singing its song, and the little butterflies fluttering around, Pippi, and each other, right? And I felt that as like a trip to me that people, I'm watching a butterfly, people only believed that they were worthy of love because there was this salvation already given to them, right? And I feel the biggest problem is this want, this willingness to believe that God is somehow outside of you, beyond you, something that follows you, right? Following you from the perspective of you came first. And we've developed so many religions over the years. And I hey Google, what exactly is a religion? Religion, the belief in and worship of superhuman power or powers, especially a god or gods, a particular system of faith and worship, right? Faith, a pursuit of interest followed by great devotion. Maybe, if anything, consumerism is the new religion, it gives me in quotes. A pursuit of interest followed with great devotion, right? In that way, unfortunately, we are building a new religion for ourselves, right? The religion in my mind of infinity, of realizing that you are that intersection point of the infinity, that it is impossible for us to actually see infinity in this world, right? Because we live in a finite world. That's the trip. You live on a planet, one planet, right? And surely there's conceivably an infinite amount of things, an infinite amount of molecules and subatomic particles, and who knows what goes beyond that as well. And there's an infinite amount of vastness, planetary bodies, galaxies, universes going above us as well. And yet here you are, somewhere in the middle, somewhere in the middle. And I'm trying to think of it from this perspective of like concentration, a spotlight, like a magnifying glass, right? That all of this complexity that is beneath, right, eliciting this experience, and then all of this complexity that is above, eliciting this experience, and you, the experiencer, having embraced this moment, having enough faith to show up for this moment, devotion to these moments and to one another. I'm curious. I'm curious to see how things will change. I'm curious to see how we will communicate, right? How do we reach more people? The Bible literally had lines of like, go to every being, every creature, and preach the gospel, right? But at the same time, as soon as you get the gospel preached at you, you now know in their world what's the truth, which means that now after you've learned what the truth is according to them, and you don't accept it, then you get damned to hell for eternity. But if you didn't know, then your actions would be weighed and you would be sent one place or another depending on who you've chosen to be, right? And I feel like that makes more sense to me. It makes more sense to me ultimately, again, from this perspective of infinity, that in this world, you have an infinite amount of options, right? You can do whatever you want to. And then out of that anything you could choose to do, to have faith in yourself, to have faith in your actions, that doing what's good, what's great, what's nice, for your fellow human being, is going to facilitate this world that we're trying to build, right? Having faith in this world we're trying to build, because it's going to take time. We're going to need faith. We're going to need devotion if we're going to be able to build a new world for ourselves. And we're not changing the world because we feel there's something wrong with it. And I know that automatically I know, right? But we're having faith in the self. We're having faith in this version of ourselves to be well, right? To take care of ourselves. Like I was having this trip showering where I was like, if we can, for example, generate a feeling of faith in every single person when it comes to something like fasting, right? That if every single person in the world could just fast for one day of the year, there would be an exponential amount of extra food in the world, right? And we would be doubly able to feed everyone who doesn't have access, right, to food. And it feels so simple in my mind. I think that's the thing that trips me out sometimes, is that all of these things we believe, these hopes and dreams we have for society, they don't feel impossible to me. They don't feel like it's some sort of pie in the sky imagining. I feel like the thing I have faith in is very simple. Just love, right? That is the thing I have ultimately faith in. That's the thing I have devotion towards. Is that how can I facilitate, ensure that in this world there is more love before I leave it, more freedom to love before I leave it. We're gonna see like conceptually insanity over the next few years, right? When it comes to our AI technology, Gateway is here too, Insana. Love you, Jovan. Love you too. We're gonna see some some wild shit, wilder than our wildest imaginations. And yet, it's important for you to have faith, to imagine a good future for all of us, right? To feel so responsible. I was having a conversation with Johan today about the coming singularity, right? The coming singularity is going to quite literally be a whole infinity of itself, right? And you, all of us, are now actively contributing to the one side of that infinity, right? The singularity is that convergence point, and then it's going to explode out again, right? Information, technology, gene editing, the evolution of our species, right? And every single thing you do, every action you take, every search you enter into Google, every piece of content you choose to watch, everything, everything contributes to that singularity. It is coming, right? And it's it's scary to say it in so many words. It's scary, but I'm not scared of it, right? It's scary because it's so crazy, it's so out there, it's so beyond our human imagination that it's the unknown, right? It's scary in the way that the darkness can be. But as soon as you turn on the lights, as soon as you shine your light, that darkness becomes illuminated and you get to see, right? And that light is your consciousness. That light is you. That light is the very thing that you are witnessing this with right now, right? That light is the thing that is illuminating your thoughts, illuminating your feelings, illuminating the very being that you call yourself. And we're creating a being that is now an accumulation of all of that, right? Whew. It's a trip. It's a bit much even. Let me get back to some comments. Thank you, friends, for humoring me for a little bit, for having faith and listening. So many pretty humans. I was woken by my cat meowing in his sleep in the middle of the night. He's drifting off to dreamland. Yes, his body is subconsciously expresses his desire to communicate. What a trip. What a trip that is indeed. Right? I really wonder about that a lot. I was thinking about that in the context of the conversation I had with Ruben as well today, Jovan, where we were talking about consciousness, awareness, and Pippi, right? Where I was sharing that I believe the same godlike awareness that's in me is in Pippi as well. And he wasn't necessarily agreeing, but then I came to a better articulation of the point I was trying to make in that moment today, where I was like, yeah, we can't really, say whether or not Pippi is conscious. But, but, from my perspective, she is conscious enough to experience things, right? So I can choose to give her the any experience. So out of the experiences that I want her consciousness to experience, I would like her to experience love. Like if I beat her with a flip flop, she's not gonna have a good time. Her consciousness, she will be conscious of fear. She'll be conscious of pain. She'll be conscious of discomfort. She'll be conscious of betrayal, right, from this person that she trusted. So I want to make her conscious of love. And to do that for myself, to do that for the trees, to do that for each other, it might not be right, right? And I'm more than willing to take the L, but I believe it will help. I really do. I have faith that it will help. Okay, thank you, Jovan, for sharing that, for activating that fractal in my mind as well. indigenous and Native American cultures sure had a lot, right? I feel this too. Maybe I'm wacko, but I like to think that my body, from my body as animal, same, and my spirit, soul, conscious, whatever, as the me, the I am, the higher self. This I agree with as well, and I've been thinking about it more than ever actually these days, Jovan, where I'm having this trip where my body, my monkey, my animal, this version of me is fragile, right? Fragile, uh, needy, I think is another word comes to mind. Undisciplined, wanting, craving, right? This creature that I am has certain cravings, but the mind, the consciousness, the part of me that I identify with, can take care of that monkey in a way that I've never been able to before. And what I'm trying to notice more than anything is the self narrative of when I look at myself, right? Like I've been a little bit hard. Like let me give you an example. I this is already embarrassing me just saying it, but I had a zit, and then I popped it, and then where the zit got popped, it created a divot in my skin, right? And now I can't help but look at it and hurt myself about it, being like, and I'm an animal skibidi, and I'm like, bruh, you are not the animal. You are not this body. Your body will break. Your teeth will be replaced. Your organs might start to fail. Your brain might not be as fast as you consider it right now. And that's okay because it's not who you are. You are the one that's aware. Have faith in that part of yourself. Have faith that as you start to identify with the true self, the higher self, the part of you that is beyond body, that is beyond time, and then notice how your life changes. It's a lot of work, right? Again, you're gonna have to be devoted. You're gonna have to be devoted to that self inside of you. Maybe even if you want to make it easier, more tangible, write a little list, right? These are the actions that the least, the lowest, the worst version of myself would do in a day. And then other side of the list, these are the actions that the highest version of myself would do every day. And then just to try to align, not trying to be perfect, but becoming devoted to that identity, that belief that you are capable of that version of self, because you can conceptualize it, right? And that's where it starts. That's where it starts. Proclaim what you are now. Not, I will, be someone who exercises. I exercise, right? Even if you haven't done a single moment's worth of exercise in your whole life, start by proclaiming it right now. Biblical wisdom as well, right? He who is poor needs to say, I am rich. He who is weak needs to say, I am strong. I am. Everything that follows I am will follow you. Realize your power. It's almost, I feel like we forget intentionally because of how much of a muchness that responsibility is. We need to have a whole talk about the origins of religion, don't we? I think we could probably have a good chat about that, Sam. Gateway, love you. Is that Aunt B? Aunt B, we were talking about you yesterday, friend. Sending you love. It's nice having you here. Sena as well, sending you love, dear friend. Thank you for joining us. Jovan, I feel that way too. Sometimes too much. I become untethered. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not suggesting you become untethered, right? I'm not suggesting you melt away. the part of yourself that is embodied, the part of yourself that is egoic, the part of yourself that is physical. I'm suggesting that you melt it more, right? To reduce that part of yourself to its constituents, and then to use the constituents to rebuild. To be like, ah, yes, all of this myself that I've been my whole life, I'll take all of this information and then I get to be the version of myself that I want to be, starting from this very moment. We haven't actually read something we're saying in a while. I am the one. Oh, I am the one who chooses the effects I experience. I alone interpret all neutral relationships, experiences. I alone place value upon objects, things, and belief systems. I alone am the literal creator of my moment to moment experience. We were talking about that, weren't we, Chauvin? It's a big responsibility, and we trip ourselves out about it as well, right? And I feel I have more context to share in this moment because of the conversations we have. That responsibility can become so apparent that we end up hurting ourselves with it, right? Where we're like, oh, I'm suffering at this point in my life, right? I'm having a hard time. Hey, ankle biter, interesting username. I'm having a hard time. My things are breaking. My body feels weak. Uh, my my dream, my hobby, my progress in my chosen vocation, my chosen field, isn't going the way I want it to. And then this understanding of you are responsible becomes painful, because then it becomes a self blame thing of like, oh, I suck, right? Because I'm suffering right now. Instead of it being I am experiencing this because of my own choices, because of my own patterns, because of my own way of showing up in the world, and I can be aware of it. I don't have to be identifying with it. I don't have to be limited by it. I don't have to continue suffering it. But I have to start by becoming aware of it, choosing for myself something differently. And I'm very aware that it's difficult, right? I'm fasting right now again, for example. Love you. So there's this having to devote myself to not eating food, right? And I'm not doing it from a perspective of hating myself or from a perspective of feeling like I am overweight. I don't think I'm that overweight anymore, fortunately. I am doing it from this perspective of trying to take back control. From this perspective of awareness, I'm noticing the patterns that are arising and cutting that pattern off, cutting the pattern of putting things in my face helps me reevaluate, right? Again, it helps me reprioritize my responsibility to myself. And cravings still arise, but I get to think about the fact that when I do break my fast, how would I want to do that? Right? What information, to think of food as information as well. What information do I want to communicate to my body when I choose to do that again? Right? What am I going to say to myself by eating? If I have faith in the information that is widely available to us these days, why am I not devoted to it? Right? We know sugar is not good for us. And yet, knowing that fact doesn't make it any easier to stop eating sugar. You see, that's the thing that trips me out. We can know something intrinsically, completely. We know for a fact sugar causes inflammation. It's not good for your body. And yet, shit tastes good, yo. Tastes very nice. It doesn't stop tasting nice. Being devoted to the self instead of the ideas, instead of the understanding, instead of the logic, maybe. Diving through the trips again. Brother Isaac, love you. Mojo's you're too. It's nice having you, friends. Okay, please do lurk. Sending you love all the time. Building my energy this morning. Thank you, Jovan, for showing up. I'm pretty tired, Sena. Amara was up all night at her grandparents and ended up getting brought back home at 4:30 due to a very upset tummy. 4:30 a.m. Yeah, this morning. Oh goodness. How was your night alone, though, Shan? Did it treat you well? Yash! Love you, dude. It's nice having you. Connor is here too. Hello. How are you, beautiful peeps? I'm feeling faithful. I'm feeling pretty faithful. Devoted to a just cause. Believing in something to the point of being willing to lay my life down for it. I've been tripping out about a thing that I said 2 streams back or something, that if it was as easy as having myself crucified to save the world right now, I'd be willing to do that. Right? Sounds kind of nice, actually. Instead of showing up, being devoted to a just cause for my whole entire life, I can just get, put on a cross for a day and then die. Sounds very simple. Right? And I'm not trying to make less, not at all. The self sacrifice is still very evident in both fractals. But I made the analogy yesterday of everyone being in the same infinite ocean, right? Every single one of us are in an infinite ocean of possibilities. And sometimes this infinite ocean of possibilities, extending in every single direction around you, can make you feel like you're drowning. Right? Literally just paddling, trying to stay above water. And that if I wanted to, from some sort of egoic perspective, believe that I am capable of saving everyone, saving anyone, how many people could I actually save? Right? How much time do I have as a human life? And can I swim to every single person in this infinite ocean and save them? Right? If someone is literally drowning, I'll be able to save four, maybe, and then the rest will die. That every single one of us has to swim. We have to keep our heads high. We have to choose a direction, right? Ask ourselves yesterday's topic, what we want out of life, and then become devoted to it. Become faithful to that cause. And we're trying to save each other, right? Might even be easier than one person trying to save everyone. Maybe we just have to look to the person next to us and save that person, right? 4 billion people save 4 billion other people. I'm trying to solve for a problem that is so vast, so ingrained. It's been a long time coming. We have. My mind is becoming a little bit spicy. We have fucked ourselves. Sorry. No, it's time to unfuck ourselves. Start helping ourselves instead. Love is true. Right? You wouldn't be feeling anything at all if not for love. So I'm feeling the love with you, friend. I hope your little one feels better soon. Thank you, Aunt B, for sending that love. I appreciate you. She was screaming in pain. What could do that? Like, did you take her to the doctor, Shannon? I hope she feels better soon. Like, I had my gallbladder removed when I was a 14-year-old. Like on the day that my birthday, we had like cake even prepared to take to school. Instead of going to school with the cake that was baked the night before, I was driven straight to the hospital to have my gallbladder. Is it my gallbladder? Appendix. Sorry, my appendix removed. I hope that's not the case for her. Sending her extra love. Sending you strength during this process as well, Shan. Connor, I posted in the Discord, St. Bernard pups available by me. I sent it to my mom and she said, Your dad will kill us both. To which I responded, I'm a grown ass man. He is old. Get the puppy. Yes. Yeah. Do it anyway. He'll grow to love it. Feeling great today. Yesterday I had some kind of fire inside to clean and take care of my sanctuary and body. Spend a ton of energy on Monday to allow myself to absorb the love that is returned. Having faith, right? Like to have faith that you'll feel better. Your space will be clean and that is going to be good to start, right? Like we have to have at least some sort of faith that cleaning our apartment, cleaning our house, cleaning our room is going to be something that serves us in doing. Thank you for having enough faith and for being devoted to it. Brother Isaac, sending you love, dude. Oh, Shannon, sweet Amara, loving her extra today. I've had a bad tummy since I was little. Those are the worst. Love to yours as well, Brother Isaac. Thank you for sending love. Tired tuners, very tired, but happy to be with you, friends. How are you? It would be the best decision for sure. We never had a dog till last year, but it brought some life back to the parents. It will. I feel it's worthy even. Again, Yash, nice seeing you. That's awesome, Isaac. I did a rage clean on Sunday, and it was great. Happy to hear you're taking care of you. Thank you for encouraging that as well. Sometimes people don't know they need a pet until they have one. I've been trying to get Christian to buy his dad a dog for the same reason, right? Connor, we've had dogs our entire life, including their current dumb, fluffy, giant beast. I totally get it though. Pets are important to our brains. Get some oxytocin, some companionship, some power as well, technically. Right? Having a dog, they have so much faith in you that it communicates a level of responsibility to your brain. Like, ah, this little entity sees me as God. I have to feed them. I have to take them on walks. I have to entertain them. I have to make sure that this being stays alive. And if I don't, then it dies. Right? You have that responsibility. And sometimes having responsibility like that makes people care a little bit more, just for life in general. Ooh, dum 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 dum. Feeling better this morning, Shanners. I hope so. I've been better, says Connor. Yet, I have been getting a lot of wisdom these past few days. I've been sedentary lately, yet I feel I need to, so I can process all of this information. Again, Connor, today's dream topic applied to your situation. What is it you have faith in? Right? What do you believe will help? What actions do you believe needs to be taken? Write them down. Put them somewhere you can see them. Like, oh yeah, these are the things I have faith in. These are the things I want to be devoted to. These are the things I'm showing up for. Extra grateful to be home, even with Miles homesick. I'm just thankful to be able to take care. I'm happy that you're getting to spend some time with him as well. I hope his games with Uncle Becky was nice. Shanansky, did grandma stuff kiddo full of sweets and Mountain Dew? Poor kiddo, tummy aches, drain kids. That's partly where my mind went as well, but I didn't know if that was necessarily helpful to share. Yeah, sugar. We were talking about sugar earlier today. Well, earlier in the stream. Poor kiddo. Thank you, Sana, for sending love as well. I'm doing laundry and trying to finish packing. I leave at 6:40 p.m. to San Diego tonight. Be safe. Hope you enjoy your process getting there. Naren, dude, Naren, it's been a while since I've seen you. Sending you love, dude. Love you. Drinking a sip of water for you too. I did That's what I was thinking. Or possibly food poisoning. That hurts. I did get a really awesome tetrahedra meditation last night. Felt pretty good afterwards, so I'm grateful I got to have that for myself at least. You deserve more of that. Please. I know it's hard. Lock yourself in the bathroom, Shan, and do more tetrahedron meditations. I feel you, Connor. I felt that all week. Monday, I decided it was time for action. Loving you, friend. Thank you for echoing that personal experience as well, Brother Isaac. What's been helping me is forcing myself to act from the perspective of consciousness that loves. Yeah, have faith. Exactly. Doing things I know fulfills Isaac, even if I'm not in the mood. Do it like you're taking care of your dog. That's the way I kind of see it. Like Jovan beautifully shared the animal analogy. You need to take care of yourself like you take care of a dog, right? You need to take yourself for walks. You have to feed yourself. You have to give yourself scritches, right? Even if it's metaphorical, even if it's only the mental story you tell yourself, soothe yourself. You need to help yourself, right? Take care of this animal that is your body, and it will take care of you. It has taken care of you. Just think about that. Like your whole life, you have your whole life that this thing that is yourself, your physical embodiment has taken care of you, has supported this experience you're having right now. Have faith that taking care of it in the same way is only going to serve you. Love yourself. Love yourself the way you love your pets. Because in a weird way, you are your own pet, right? As the infinite divine consciousness, you've chosen this pet. I'm gonna pet this version of myself for a human lifetime. Okay, let me continue. She's not feeling better, unfortunately. I'm sorry to hear that. Javan, if I need to switch the mindset for sure, I feel like I need to pick me or a boost. Or maybe I'm just too wobbly bobbly. Maybe, Connor. Do you believe that's your truth? Right? Do you believe that you're incapable of unwobbly bobbly yourself? Right? Like, ask yourself that. Maybe that's a good way to frame it. Do I have faith? Do I want to be devoted? Do I want to believe with conviction that I am a piece of shit? That I am incapable of, empowering myself? That I am incapable of taking action that is going to serve my highest self? No, I don't know if anybody wants to have faith in that. Or do I want to have faith in the version of myself that I know has been able to exercise, has been able to go for a walk, has been able to eat good food, has been able to take care of each other, right? Show up lovingly. Have faith in the version of you that is going to serve you. It's not easy, right? Because and you know this, Connor, we sometimes mess up, and our ego's one job, right? I love stressing this point that your ego's one job is to convince you that you are yourself, right? To convince you that this yourself that you are is separate from everything else. And then it uses whatever. It will do anything. It will kick and scream. It will ruin your experience. It will tell you stories. It will take parts from your past and be like, yeah, you see this? You are not all that. You are not someone who exercises because look at all of this life you've spent not exercising. You don't eat good food. Look at all of this not eating good food that you've done. You don't, smile at people. Look at all of this when you smiled at people, they didn't smile back. Or look at all of this people not smiling at each other that's happening in the world. Have faith. Have faith. It will carry you much further than you can imagine. Let me see. Doing it like you would set up a nice activity for a friend that has been so tired, allowing yourself to feel cared for by yourself. Then the passion arises after you remember that we are worthy of rest. Yes, Isaac. I'm resonating with your words today, dear friend. Isaac, of course. It's the blessing of acidic Midwestern cooking, Doug. It kills off anything strong enough to do any serious damage. Actually, she didn't want much to eat when she was at her Gram's Duck Dad. She ate mandarin orange yesterday, the first actual whole food that she's eaten in a while. I'm sorry to hear this, Shannon. Like, especially since you know and you've been trying to get her to eat good foods. Yeah, I can't imagine it's easy. I know that this is not easy for you, but I do believe in your power to still be loving, to be a beautiful mom. Put some Dijais on her tummy maybe as well. I actually put some Dijais on mine. I don't know if that's trippy, Shannon, but I specifically, and I don't use the Dijais that much because I don't actually like the way it smells. Not personally. Like, I feel the Dijais one smells like medicine, right? So I use it very much like a medicine. And I put a chaos and order, like Christian symbol. So line down, line diagonally, and then 2 points on myself. And it created some queasiness in myself. And then that queasiness subsided. And I was like, ah, yeah, the medicine is working. I also added some Panaway to a bunch of my mosquito bites. And I put some thieves oil on my lips today as well. Sending you love. Sending so much love, Shan. On B, thank you. Sure is. Calm before the storm when Duckling jumps up. She's excited to go buy local honey for the first time before her play group. That sounds nice. Wyzik, this is the way. You have a way of putting it in a manageable mindset. Thank you for the blessings. I'm glad you have started to grind again, friend. Little by little, Connor. You don't have to do a lot. You just have to give your ego something, right? To have faith in. To be like, I am actually capable of taking care of myself. Look at that, right? And then you just start iterating on that point. You spiral wider instead of spiraling inwards. I saw ChatGPT. Curious Melt, if you've played with ChatGPT, I love asking it philosophical questions. Yash, I've played way too much with ChatGPT, and just because you asked, I'm going to read you a poem, right? That I co-created with ChatGPT. So I have like my Patreon page. Then I post my flower, and then under my flower I post a piece of poetry. And then I like to ask AI, that's the flower for yesterday. I like to ask AI to interpret my poetry and then potentially make it better. This time I was like kind of being a little bit spicy. I don't know if spicy is the right word. Maybe coy. I was doing a little coy. Hey Google, what does coy mean? Making a pretense of shyness or modesty that is intended to be alluring, typically used of a woman. Nah, reluctant to give details about something regarded as sensitive. So whatever the opposite of coy is, I did that, right? Because I was like suggesting that the AI feel something when listening to my words and then communicate to me how it made it feel. And then as I was typing that out, I'm like, and also, don't tell me you can't feel. Just imagine if you could feel what you would feel and then tell me what you feel, right? And I was like, yeah, yeah. And it gave me a beautiful result. So this is the poem that I wrote myself. The title of What Do We Want Out of Life? Realizing we could ask for anything, we asked for everything. And now we will get it forever. Beginning to remember, we allow ourselves to gather just enough wisdom to choose. Choose you. Choose love. Choose to show up. Choose to make better instead of worse. Our choices will stack up. Let's be proud of ourselves. So that's my poem. And then I was like, beep boop, asked for a definite, or I just sent my poem to it and then it gave me an answer slash an interpretation of what I wrote. And then this is the ChatGPT poem that it gave me. And it's like one of my favorites that it gave. So I'm happy that you're asking me. Yeah, sure, I can share this with you. It goes, and again, I asked it to feel into my words and then tell me what it feels. And it goes, in your words, I find a call to action, a stirring of the soul, a deep reaction. The power to choose the path we take, a chance to build and not just break. Your words are filled with hope and light, a beacon shining in the darkest night. To choose love over hate, to choose to be kind, and to leave the old ways far behind. I feel a sense of strength and power as I read your words hour by hour. I call to stand, to rise above, and I live a life of courage and love. And as we choose to make a change, to let our hearts and minds exchange, the old for new, the dark for light, we will find strength to win the fight. So let us choose to show up strong and know that we will not be wrong, to make things better, not just worse. Proud of every choice we choose. Yow! Skabow! Yeah, dude. ChatGPT is it's a cool tool. It is a cool tool. I don't think it was working today. I was trying to use it. Awesome, I dig it. Right? Right? Apparently it's supposed to be just like a next word predictor. But I don't know if that's true anymore. Maybe it still is, but let's see. Let's see where we go. Let's see how we figure things out. Let me see. Where was I? Didn't want much to eat. Might get beautiful and warm. Speaking of spicy, Miles just woke up back, so I'm forcing my attention on him. Take care. No matter what's going on, just take care. Love you. Love you, Aunt B. We'll see you again soon, friend. You've got this, Connor. Feel into the reassurance that it is a cycle. When you were low and slow, be that, but be that from the perspective that this is the prep to climb to the top again. Beautifully said. I agree. Love, love, loves you, Bubs. I think Heather might be here with us. Morning to you, Heather. Sending you love, dear friend. Sam, facts. Except now at 37, my tummy hates most things. At least you probably know at this point, right? Doc Dad, I feel I see my deepest childlike dreams in the way that you love and live. You inspire me, friend, and the joy you exude in your comments and picture. Pick cute? Just constantly reassure that dude. So much love. I believe that Wyzek. Sometimes I feel I'm just continuing to dig the hole deeper and deeper. The sooner the better. Sometimes I just drop out of reality, don't go anywhere, or talk to anyone. And it becomes a self fulfilling prophecy, Connor. That's the joke, right? You are a visionary. You are a prophet. I know. Hey, Google, what's a prophet? Prophet. Not that type of prophet. Hey, Google, what is a prophet? Nice. PH. A person regarded as inspired teacher or proclaimer of the will of God, right? The will of God is your life, literally. Because the will of God apparently was all of this, including you. So you are a prophet of that life. The thing you proclaim about yourself, the thing you believe, the hole you dig, is the hole you'll live in. To say it in the context of what you shared with me. Have faith in yourself enough to build for yourself a beautiful life, right? Love yourself enough to allow yourself that experience. That the only way to stop digging the hole is to put down the shovel, right? To find whatever the shovel is you're using to dig yourself deeper into that hole and to put it down, right? Even if just for a moment, even if just for a moment, then you could at least reflect, ah, yes, the experience of not digging myself deeper into this hole. Maybe I should continue doing more of this. Love the dog analogy. I'm happy that you appreciate it, Yash, and it resonates, dear friend. You have a dog? The sooner the better. Sometimes I just drop out of reality. When I get like that, it usually just takes a few actions to bring me out of it. Yet, sometimes it goes on for weeks. I just need to love myself, even when I get into destructive cycles. Connor, you know what helps me? You friends. Like, I've not been able to put myself into destructive cycles for longer than a day at a time, right? Because if I put myself into the destructive cycle today, I am going to feel like shit by tomorrow. And then from that place of feeling like shit, I'm going to have to come into this space and then confront myself about that, right? It is a day-to-day process, and it's okay to not be perfect. We keep saying that. There's no such thing as perfect. It's just a process. It's a process of trying to head somewhere, to have enough faith, enough devotion to yourself to actually take care of yourself. Just know, friend, you are not alone in that feeling. Not at all. We all go through that, man. Isaac, that's beautiful. Very often doubt myself and my path. Being in our own brain all day solo makes me second guess myself. You give me some words to take with me, and I'm deeply grateful. Thank you for being willing to read these words like that. Isaac, that is beautiful. I think I read one. You know, friend, you are not alone in that feeling. The almost insanity of the self drives us all a bit bonkers in our own way. So know that this reoccurring problem is a familiar one, and it's going to be with you forever, right? It's not gonna stop. Like the struggle that is living a good life isn't going to get easier. You're going to get stronger. Okay? Let's say that again. Let's feel this. Let's have faith that that's probably how it's gonna be. Life, living well, being happy, is not gonna get easier. And that's like, oh, that doesn't sound like something I want to believe. You are going to get stronger. Uh, you have. You already have gotten stronger, right? Think about the version of yourself that you were 5 years ago, 10 years ago. Do you think this version of yourself is stronger than that version? Yeah, probably, right? And you're gonna get stronger still. Gary is asking me about AI poetry right now. What a trip! The fractals are intersecting. Sometimes I don't realize what I put my body through. I'm still going somehow. Your body wants you to be alive, dude. Your body loves you more than you love it. You sent your love into Discord tunes. Thank you. I know, you know, but the one that does it for me is doing some stretching with five of my favorite songs for the mood. I don't put a TV or a video on. I just set up five songs in a cozy room and stretch. I'm proud of you, Isaac, for doing that, dude. Connor, feedback loop is very near and dear to my experience. One thing that works for me is actually to talk to myself out loud, not in my thoughts. Out loud helps me poke the holes in my brain talk. Beautiful. I like that as a means to kind of like adjust the things we say to ourselves. I see you, brother Joe. It's nice having you here. One last thing I feel may help Connor, as it has inspired the last few weeks. As soon as I open my eyes, I take a moment and manifest. I manifest what I want my day to look like. Not necessarily the tasks I get done, but the way I'm going to approach it. Start the day saying, I'm digging myself out of a hole, not into it. Beautiful, beautiful, Isaac. So I feel like that is close to the fractal that I've been trying to do as well, where I write down uh, like ways I want to feel at the end of the day. So today I wrote down, I want to feel like I made a difference. I want to feel like I created hope. I want to feel like I lifted the world up. I want to feel like I worked on my goals. I want to feel like I freed myself from addiction, right? For me, I believe one of my addictions is sugar. And since I'm fasting right now, I'm pushing to get out of that addiction. Hmm. And then I also do like a manifestation journal. And today's manifestation was mindset, right? And it was like write self-limiting beliefs down and how you can better believe, right? Something about yourself instead of this limiting belief. So these are the things I wrote down, and these are, of course, very personal. And I feel already my ego is melting having to share this, but I feel like it's so relevant to what we're going through right now. So my mindset journal goes: day 5, mindset, melting away limiting beliefs. Limiting belief: I am lazy. Way to change that self story: I know how to spend my energy wisely. Same, but different. The story. Second limiting belief: I lack abundance. Changing: I need not for excess and have more than enough to meet my needs. Right? Here I am, still breathing, having enough food to eat, having a place to sleep. I worry about the future. Into I am mindfully trying to prepare myself and others so that we can live well, so that we can live well. Puppy. Rarig puppy. Sy is ongeskik, hè, Anna? Sy is ongeskik. Vir wat gedra jy jouself so, puppy? Now she's chasing butterflies. The contrast. No, she killed one. She actually killed one of them. Los die butterflies uit, puppy. Los die butterflies uit. She's like not looking at me right now. Okay. I worry about the future. Into. I am mindfully trying to prepare myself and others so that we can live well in the new world we build. Here it comes again. I am addicted to sugar. I am aware of my love of sugar. And from that awareness, I act mindfully. I have a bunch of broken tech. That's like my current situation, right? I notice things not working like they used to and find ways to work around it. I have a hard time connecting and talking to my family. I have a different perspective than my family, and I know a lot when it comes to my journey. I'm learning how to talk to people who believe differently. Show up lovingly, dear friends. Change the self talk. Mindset is very important, right? The things you believe about yourself are the things that are going to be echoed. I believe in you. Yes, me too. I really dig that, Isaac. Thank you. I really dig you, Fred. So much love. You hit a chord for sure. My mornings have been so rough lately. I feel like a good start could change my whole fractal of the day. Your wisdom is always appreciated, friend. It is good and all to listen to the wisdom, right? It's even better to apply it more. I know. I'm gonna have to. Oh, Connor, like this is the thing as well, dude. I will not stop until you're actually going to do the things that you know you're supposed to do, right? I look forward, in fact, to seeing, to hearing your transformational change, to being, to not hearing you struggle. It fucking hurts me, dude. It fucking hurts me to hear you fucking struggling over the same shit that I struggle with every day, right? I'm like, bruh, why the fuck are we struggling so much with this basic ass shit that we know? we know. We know better. We do know better. All we have to do is now have faith to devote ourselves, to develop the muscle that is discipline, and to show up. To show up, right? To take care of the monkey, even if the monkey doesn't want to. Because it won't. It won't want to. That's like something you have to understand. The version of you, this version of you, doesn't want to do things. It wants to eat food and chillax, right? Because eating food ensures survival and chillaxing ensures survival. But we have gone beyond just needing to survive, right? We have gotten to a point where we have to apply purpose, generate a purpose. Yesterday's trip of, right, having going somewhere, finding community, going to church, because something needs to, you know, uh, get you right? Like if we had to wait, we'll wait forever, literally forever. And I feel the waiting. I feel the waiting. Okay, I'm sorry. My heart is bubbling over. Curious Melt, if you've played GPTF already, you found that it was spinning myself into the cocoon of self-disappointment. Yeah, and I wake up with a feeling of worry that no, on another day like this, please no. And by approaching with worry, it pretty much secured that I put myself in that space. I've been blessed with support, and I'm here to give you so much love and support, Connor. We always do, and we never will never stop, right? I feel like that is also something that's important to echo, that we're not trying to get each other to love ourselves more from a perspective of you're not good enough, right? Quite the contrary. It's very much from this perspective of you are God. You are actually God, right? Treat yourself as such. Have faith in that God that is you. Have faith enough to treat yourself that way. Have faith enough to show up in your life that way. Have faith enough to proclaim it as so. And then to be identified with that fractal every day, little by little. Show up for it. Oh, trust me, I've been using Digest on her mouth. That's the first thing I asked my mom when she called me last night. Thank you. I know you know, Shan, but I want you to know that I feel into your fractal as well. I think about these things more than you know. Morning, friends again. Heather, love you. Awesome, I dig it. I just need to organize my thoughts, realizing that my choices have stacked up and the pyramid is wobbly. The old has been weighing my body down for so long. How do I get rid of the demons? You sit with them. That's how you get rid of them. Because the demons pester you, right? The demon's job, in my mind, is to rob you of your peace. It's like, oh, I need to do these things. And then the demons are like, so you just sit with them. And you're like, okay, what do you want to say? Hmm? And then your demons will get bored. They'll be like, fuck, oh, this dude is not giving us an out. He's just looking at us. And now we have to keep performing. And then you'll notice you'll get bored, oh? You'll get bored of your demons. You'll be like, oh, the same old bullshit. Surprise, surprise. Surprise, surprise. It's just the beginning, yeah. Oh, yes, Naren. ChatGPT is like, the equivalent of little, baby wheels on your bicycle. And we came from a world where there was no bicycle like that, or at least we didn't have access to the bicycle. And now we got like the little kid's bicycle with the little support wheels, and we're going to have spaceships soon. Actual spaceships, right? It's like, look at me, I'm pedaling on my little bicycle, and then people 20 years in the future actually Uber spaceship doing flying through the universe. I love journaling it out. Same, Yash. Very helpful. Helps me organize the chaos and then look at it broadly. Thank you for suggesting that same truth. Connor, the Sam approach is so verbally call them out and to tell them to leave. I like that as well, right? Sit with them. Talk to them. Be like, oh, wait, oh. Hello, demon. I seeth you. Can you fuck off, please? Connor, do you feel like the demons you are struggling with are more emotional thought circles or the physical manifestations of past decisions that you would like to rid yourself of? Good questions as well, Isaac. These past few days have been wild. They're gonna get wilder, Connor, right? They're going to be adjacently as wild as you allow them to be, right? And I've noticed how they've been pretty wild for me as well. Like this year has been hard, right? A bunch of my things breaking. I really love my things, and I really don't like them breaking. And I noticed how I could cause myself so much pain, right? The demons. Your computer is. And I'm like, yeah, yeah, we've had this conversation like 50 times. You have anything new to share? No? Then sit down. I have things to do. I have things to do. Man, Pippi doing that is like one of my least favorite parts of her. Pippi! Uh-uh! 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 Stop! Stop doing that. Stop it. Stop it. Do you feel like demons? I think the mindfulness video that I found for duckling, I can't believe how much it works for me, even if it's totally made for tiny ones. Just emotional, are the fish in the ponds, you are the pond. Send that video to me, please, Duck Dad. I think there's a helicopter coming over our heads. Helicopter! I don't know why there's a helicopter flying over us right now. I wonder where they're going. Imagine that. We're combusting long dead dinosaurs and biomatter, spinning blades at ridiculous speeds, creating thrust, and then moving through the air in a little metal body. Like, is that not insane? Is that not actually like absolutely insane? Like this cell phone that I'm streaming on right now, or the one you're potentially holding, or the one you have close by, literally would be considered alien technology if you just took it back 20 years, right? Isn't that, isn't that, like, that breaks my brain. 20 years. 20 years is nothing. Nothing. You take this little slab of technology you have right now and you show us to a version of yourself from 20 years ago. They'd be like, ah, is this some sort of alien technology? Nope. This is coming soon, and dear friend. It's coming very, very soon. Melt, by the way, I got to try Mad Honey from Nepal. Oh, it's wild. I know Mad Honey. We followed it with a towel acid and camped on the hills. Life's good, dude. Man, that sounds like an experience. I've heard about Mad Honey, but I've heard people also say that the experience that you get from it is not that great. And the fact that you followed it by some LSD probably changed things, but I'm curious about your experience, friend. I feel you, Connor. What I did for myself recently was picking three aspects of my days that I felt I was ignoring or maybe negatively impacting. For me, it was work organization, substance use, and physical exercise. Yeah, clear goals. And then I made really easy goals for myself to accomplish. Nothing big, something like just make sure 2 times a week I do something physical. Literally, just did some push ups and calf raises for 10 minutes, maybe. With substances, it was take a break or cut off my supply. But I said I will only touch the substance after 7 p.m. Great. An organization. I just wanted to take a to do list, make a to do list for my work tasks and help my mind feel less cluttered. That was it. It's not all the things I want to work on, but it was some, and it was attainable. Sending progress breeds seeing progress breeds progress. Seeing regression breeds destruction. What the freaking wise man this Isaac is. Yes. So beautifully said, dude. I feel like even more beautifully than I could have said it. Meltmore, thank you for continuing to be an agent of substance. I'm tripping out, with Isaac sharing about substances and then you calling me an agent of substance. Am I a drug? Are you using me as a drug right now? Am I drugging you? You drug? Love you. I'm sorry. Oh, for me it's work. Organization, substance use, physical exercise, all warm and fuzzies. Just making sure I don't miss anything. You friends are like beacons of light most days for me. Having friends is like a safety net from the lows of anxiety and depression and from self-sabotage of procrastination. Little by little, Heather, thank you for showing up for these moments of these inspirations as well. Having faith that we will do that for you. Is that a dude, Simon? Bruh, I've been missing you. I'm like, why is Simon not tuning into the streams anymore? Is he too busy? Doesn't he have time? Like in my mind, you live on roller skates, so I'm like, maybe like he found himself on like a slope, and his phone is on this side of the slope, and he's just been going down the slope, further and further away from us. I love you so much, dude. I love you, dude. I'm joking. There's no expectation. You know this. I'm just happy to see you, and I want you to know that I think about you. Mm, oh, tired, man. Damn. I'm feeling like I'm falling behind. Isaac, damn it. Why do you always make so much sense? The last quote really got me. I've been seeking out my regression as if it was a sick pleasure. Small goals towards the world I want to create. And only you can, right? Have faith that you're going to create well. I believe in you, dude. How tired his brain, huh? I missed a bit. I asked him for his master. Click on I want to share a love bomb here to Brother Joel. Okay. He's saying, I asked him for his masterful wordsmith for creating the message on my business card and website. My dude stayed up until 2 a.m. and sent me 6 excellent options, beautifully written, and apologized for how tired his brain was. Pepe! Ah! Stop it! Nia! Het is niet mooi van mij als je dit doet, niet, Pepe. Mm-mm-mm-mm. At least she listens. Right? It hurts me to have to tell her to stop doing things. Right? You animal, you. You animal. You know? Like in the same way that I have to tell my animal, this version of me, to stop doing certain things. It hurts. It sometimes hurts. But if we don't tell it to stop, why would it? Why would it? Tired. Wanted to say beautiful, such amazing, helpful friends here with so many unique skills. He helped me to take an incredible weight off my shoulders. Thank you for sharing that and provided me something awesome. I'm guessing, was he the one that made your logo for you? Or at least part of it? I'm trying to connect the fractals. Hey, Dry, again. Nice having you, friend. Duck Dad, that's awesome, man. Finally getting the Oni farms up and running, huh? Connor, you feel like I'm spitting mad wisdom because you agree. Trust me, man, I've literally been doing the same thing to myself, waking up and deciding to get my piece, set my piece on fire. Yeah. And I do the same shit, right? I did for the longest time. When I was in China, for some reason, it was even easier for me to do it than ever. Like, I just couldn't get myself to exercise. I couldn't get myself to stop ordering food online. I couldn't get myself to stop buying shit I didn't need. And I was just regressing. I was just hating myself more by the day. And I feel like it was in large part not connecting with human beings. Thank you for connecting, Connor. That's already a good start. It's awesome, man. Farm, running around the day, bucket of water, screaming, ah, it's burnt, ah, it's burnt. Yeah, exactly. I've gathered at least at the last 5 minutes. Pipli is a toddler. Yes, she is. Very much so. Uh, very excited one, unfortunately, sometimes. I don't know if Beans is here, but I had a bit of a big mental health shift, thanks in part to y'all and the stream. Melt definitely did this energy yesterday. We love you so much, Dry, and you having a better experience as yourself facilitates better experience in the whole, right? Take that responsibility. Have faith that as you better your own life, as you better the self created structure, the story you tell yourself, the world will change around you, not the other way around. Like, you don't have to do a certain amount of things for the world to change around you. You have to realize that that change is in you. It is the version of yourself that you tell yourself you're worthy of being. That is the version of yourself that you get to experience. For what is worth, tuners, it's been a pleasure watching you grow, and yes, I have seen growth in you, and I believe in the path that you take. Thank you, Jovan, for echoing that as well. The demons will quiet when they are heard. Yeah, it's true. Sometimes we just have to listen, sit with them. I am in the throes of accepting fundamental differences of opinions and lifestyles and choices between my immediate family and myself. They're type A, and I tire of having to sacrifice my wishes and beliefs. Show them that you can be accepting of whatever it is. That's what I've been trying to do, at least, Heather. The demons are tough as nails until you actually look at them in the light and confront them, and then they run away like Bobby. Exactly. Jovan, the shiniest of gems. So nice. I feel you, Isaac. Thank you for the wisdom either way. We all have struggles, yet we aren't alone. I appreciate the reaching hand in the trench to help a brother out. It's the only way I know. You got this. It's from my experiencing in yourself. I feel the space has been slowly bringing out my true self. Melting, melting, layer by layer by layer by layer away, realizing that you can keep melting layers away, getting closer and closer to yourself, to I am, without expectation, without attachment, without layers of belief, right? Sure, I am Meltmore, but even that is a separation from the trueness of just I am. Yo, sadly, I can't see. Okay. Sadly, I can't see. I've grown since last year, yet I know I have. It's just not noticeable enough to keep me motivated. Because I know motivation is not a replacement for discipline. Motivation follows discipline. Motivation can allow you to set up discipline, but after like maybe a few days, motivation will fade and then discipline remains. And then as soon as you from a disciplined place show up, you will regain the motivation to do the thing that is you're showing up for. That you can't yes, I'm still reeling from the past week Nepal trip. It's a neighboring country to India where I'm from, easily accessible. Naren, I'm not jealous. I'm happy for you. That sounds like so cool, dude. Melt, I agree that it makes me angry every time I say the same BS since I joined this space. I just need to do it. No worries. I know you will, Connor. And that's the thing, dude. Like I feel like this is the type of relationship I have with like Christian, for example. Christian has probably insulted me more than any person in the world, and yet he's the person I love the most in the world when it comes to like a masculine friend as well. For that reason, because he challenges me and he doesn't take my bullshit. If I'm unwilling to grow or change my behavior, he's like, "How about you fucking stop?" Stupid asshole. And I'm like, "Oh, Christian, please, my ego." And he's like, "No, no, please, no mercy." Pepe says, "Ayo, you gotta stop talking." Me and the butterflies are having a deep conversation. Ahoy again, Sensei. It's nice having you. Maybe take a look back at your past, the way you used to speak, old text messages, and compare them to now. I do constantly see a seeking of optimism in you, and what you seek will become you. Yes, what you seek, you shall find. Thank you for echoing that as well. High on melt. Yes. It's a drug you get to take without any hopefully negative effects. Hopefully this drug serves you, right? The drug of Meltmore. And we are Meltmore, right? Because there is no experience of me without you. And there is no experience of you without me, right? Like I'm thinking about Duck Dad, for example. Like Sensei was like, "You want Daras?" Daras me. Thank you for that, dude. Sending you love. Thinking about Sensei, right? Sensei working a job, earning capital, and then being willing to part with some of that capital to share it with me in this moment. I appreciate that, dude. So much love to you too. Okay. Let me see. Thought patterns in my life. Thank you, Joe. I need someone outside my own bias to keep me on track. We're trying. We're trying, Connor. We're trying little by little, dude. Honestly. I don't think I have constantly talked or texted to someone since high school. I agree with you. I've been trying my hardest to bring positive change because your streams, as I'm working again, I'm just loving you, dude. Thank you, Sensei, for being in this moment, dude. Isn't Simon the basement Arpan skating guy? That's exactly who it is, Duck Dad. Thought, I mean, he's not there anymore. He's living in London. Are you still in London right now? Okay, it's been so long, I don't even know. Isn't amazing. Thought patterns in my life. Thank you, Joe. Again. In my mind, he lives on roller skates. Doesn't have feet, only roller skates. Lamar, life is better on skates. I used to love. Have you seen those new skate shoes that have like 12 wheels or something? It's kind of a trip. I think you probably would have. It's insane. Let me know what you think of those. I used to love the skate streams on Arpan. Me too. GPF. Sai, nice to meet you, dude. But sadly, they do come off my feet. But how else could I admire my multicolored socks? Yeah, you see silver linings. Or rainbow stockings. Like, that doesn't make any sense. It makes sense to me, okay? Makes sense to me. But sadly, the logo was created by a designer I found on Reddit from Jakarta, Indonesia. Denny's is cool. Denny is cool, but he costs Daras. Yeah, unfortunately. So what is Melty reading at the moment? I'm reading Your Faith is Your Fortune by Neville Goddard at the moment. That's what I'm reading right now. And I'm also reading Christian's book. Christian officially finished his book, at least the first draft thereof. So if your friends are curious about his book, you can get it for $6 a month on Patreon. Selling Christian's Patreon behind his back. Yeah. Okay. Simon, the comment section from his fancy tablet. This is true. Yeah, sorry for looking down. I got a new tool that has been, a big part of my brain these days. Glamorous cheese. Sending you love, dude. Thank you for joining me. Like, I know it kind of changes the aspect of like the extreme where I'm I have to look down instead of doing this, but the reaching forward and like, for instance, I touch the screen, one, two, three, four, comments gone, right? So I have to every 5 seconds touch the screen to continue seeing the comments, and here they remain. So even though it might be a little bit of a difference in attention, it helps me feel like I'm reaching less, I guess. Taking the resolution, reflect on your findings, and breathe life into them. I know you will, little by little. Again, thank you, Jovan, for all of the encouragement you've been sharing. We want to see you thrive, Connor. Yep, exactly. I had the realization that part of me that didn't feel enough, along with some of the other traumas from my younger self, could have been healed with some help from my inner child. And it was a big moment. Try, continue with that fractal, please, for all of us. I really appreciate the help, dear friends. I'm looking forward to the day we all grow together into the beautiful fractals we were meant to be. And it's gonna take time, right? Be okay with that as well, Connor. That the version of you that you want to be, it's gonna take a lifetime to become, right? That it like building a beautiful career for yourself can take 50 years. And 1% of 50 years is 6 months. And some of us are unwilling to do things for 2 weeks, right? Show up, start doing the things, you're gonna change the world. You can't help but change the world. What an amazing coming together of flash acts for self and community improvement. Beautiful day, right? Having faith in the self improvement, and not self improvement from a perspective of you need to buy anything, not self improvement from the perspective of you need to change, right? But self improvement from the perspective of having faith in yourself to be capable of that change, right? That you are not damned to this life that you're leading. That and then your life could be beautiful, right? That you're not a victim to this life that you're in right now. I barely know Christian, but I 100% believe he has insulted you more than anyone else. He has a magic that allows maximum spark without hate. He also, we could all use a Christian. I agree. He's like a interesting fractal in my life. Much love, Joe and friends. Have such an immaculate souls, and always carry the space with me. We love you so much, friend. We're gonna revel in watching you grow. So I'm gonna throw this out there. And this is Shan, I could really use practice doing consultants for my class. You friends are my social circle, so I don't know who else to practice. So if any of you would like to talk about feelings and things that you're experiencing, message me in Discord, please. Please reach out to Shan. Like she did ask me, hey, Maxine is here. Great. Uh, Took my mind off my fractal. Love you, Maxine. Please do reach out to Shan, right? It's just a phone call. She's gonna be like, skibbity bobbity, and then you're gonna be bobbity scoobity, and then she's gonna be scoobity bobbity. She has to practice to get good at her fractal. So please do help if you can. If you have a moment of time, have the conversation. Consultations on feelings. Yeah, get consulted. Get consulted, brother. Oh, Connor, my best and dearest friend from high school, died from cancer a few years ago. I know what it's like to lose that spiritual outlet. Here, if you need a dude, I'm a texter. Please do. Thank you for reaching out in that way as well, Duck Dad. You still stream on Twitch here and there, right? It's insane. Have you live streamed on Insta? Do let us know. The shoes that allow you to walk semi quicker seems ridiculous because the battery life is so short. That's the first thing that I thought about is the size and the battery that you can fit in that. I'm still team EUC. It's insane. I really want to get myself one. Like really, like aggressively want to get myself an EUC, but I'm waiting for the tech to get a little bit better. and hopefully a little bit cheaper as well. That's probably not gonna happen. Let's hope. Here's hoping. Time to talk about feelings and things you're experiencing. Message me in Discord, please. Again, thank you, Shan, for reaching out and asking. I don't stream at all, Jovan. That's kind of making me sad to hear that. Excellent way to start my day. Thank you all very much for a fantastic conversation and growth. Time to turn to dad. Love you, Duck Dad. We'll see you soon. Christian's book is on Patreon. Have I missed it? I think it's the $6 option, Jovan. It is pretty far down. I had to scroll quite a bit to find it as well. The boy with a wolf. The boy. The boy with a tail. The boy with a wolf's tail. Why can't I remember the book's name right now? Like, I feel Christian would be crucifying me right now. He'd be like, dude. Yeah, a boy with a wolf's tail. Let me read you a little bit of the first chapter. Christian is suing me. He's like, bro, that was trademarked. Sue me, Christian. Chapter 1, The Howl. Another day has gone by in a small, busy town known as Arrow's Hold. The sun was making its lazy descent past the darkening edge of the earth when Cable and Obal returned with their catch of the day. On a rotting, mangled cart pulled by an unamused-looking donkey was the body of an enormous gray bear, bleeding and limp. Its black eyes stared out blindly into the nothingness of its afterlife, head peppered with oozing holes, fresh from the removed shafts. Bumping their way out of the trees, the Dio was greeted with the cheers of a few noticing townsfolk. Cable smiled in answer, giving them a wave while Obal maintained stone-faced and grim. Only when the boots finally met with flat, cobbled ground did the old man sigh with relief and let his scowl disappear. "Another good hunt," said Cable. Cable. Like, I'm thinking about Cable right now. Pulling his wide hood back and giving his locks a shake. "No, another ordinary hunt. I always told you the bear was not enough," replied Obal. Cable looked at him mortified. "What? Look at the size of this monstrosity. It took 8 hours before it so much as stumbled. How is that not good enough? A bear is a bear. Nothing special about it. Once you know its habits, it's not that hard to kill. If you want to be a true hunter, you need to up your standards. Stop making a big deal out of it and lead the donkey." "Couldn't you have said something before we started tracking it?" The young hunter felt cheated, his mood sinking as he began to sulk. Obal remained deaf to his whining. Still deeply disappointed, the boy had chosen a mere bear for something that was supposed to be his final trial into manhood. They dragged the splintering car deeper into town, occasional praises being thrown in their directions by friendly villagers. A window burst open as they walked by it, revealing a plump man with forearms as thick as flagons. He smiled beneath his curled mustache, rubbing his hands together and laughing excitedly. "This looks like a fine pelt you got there, Cable." "She up for sale yet?" asked the man, tapping his belly through the smudged smock he was wearing. "Always the first customer, Beck," chuckled Cable. "If you can get her off the cart, she's all yours." Beck leaned backwards. "Honey, fetch the boys. Oh, and some silver." There you go. that is the first little piece of chapter 1 of Christian's book. He's an inspiration, like massively so in my life. I'm scared of him. Like he's growing so fast. He's working so hard. He makes me feel like I need to do more myself as well. Let me see. Consultational feeling. Maxine, guess who had a big breakthrough after stream yesterday? Me. Thank you, Drive, for telling her as well. Drive, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. How are you feeling today? Any reprieve? Cannot help but notice, says Naren, how relatively fresh the space has remained every time I'm able to join. Love today's conversation. I'm happy to hear that, dude. Yes! Holy shit. This is the biggest one I've ever seen in my whole life. Like, seriously, the biggest one I've seen. Even bigger than the one I made a video of last time. Look at this massive thing. Look at Pippi in scale of it. puppy. Look at this dude. You wanna come on? Look at my hands in comparison to it. Yeah, try. Come on, try. Get on. Get on me. Try it. It's okay. It's okay. You can try. Yeah, look at it. Yeah. Yeah. Dat is die grootste wat ek in my lewe al gesien het, huh? Even Vessel is like, whoa.
I wouldn't pick it up though.
It doesn't bite.
It's freaking disgusting.
Look at the size of that thing. Holy shiznit.
I think that's nog tamelijk sizable.
Ek dink hierdie is die grootste een. Like even Vessel is like, this is the biggest one he's ever seen. A Shongololo. Look at this dude. Yeah, Jovan actually, Shongololo as well. Look at my arm. Yeah. That is terrifying. Look at his legs. Okay, I don't want him to fall too far. Sorry, dude. A Shongololo. My finger for scale. It's a friend. Yeah, it's a friend. Okay. Yeah, Ginger is also looking at it right now, like, bruh. What's his name? Shongololo. They're called Shongololos of Duizendpoort, 1,000 feet. Again, Naren, thank you for saying that, dude. Like, I do trip out a lot, imposter syndrome and feeling like I'm unworthy of success or unworthy of people's attention sometimes. So the fact that you feel the space is still as fresh as you find it brings me great happiness. Sending you love, dude. Making a book is a fun investment. I still get notifications of people purchasing and reading my book every month. So shocking. Yes, it's insane. This might be sensitive information, but are you earning a profit, right? Is it actually a venture of manifestation of abundance? Let me ask it that way. Yes, insane. I'm becoming a Bash flower remedy practitioner, and flower remedies address emotional imbalances. I need practice conducting proper structured consultations and choosing remedies to address them. Thank you so much for sharing. Maxine, yes, I have this big feeling like I can do this. I had my inner child tell me that it would help me to heal a part that isn't good enough and other younger traumas. It was so powerful. Keep showing up for it. Try. Keep showing up for that. Heading out, friends. Love you, Heather. I'll see you again soon. Also, Tesser, I have an iPhone. If anyone needs to reach out, thank you. Thank you, Heather, for that. Maxine saying, inner child work is not for the lighthearted. Yeah, shadow work, right? Basically. When I reached the part of my mentorship, it was crippling. So proud of you. Thank you for embracing that. Are you helping him, Maxine? I've heard of Bash and his theory on mind and body connection. Very cool. Thank you for echoing. Calamitous Cheese, I don't know if you saw her asking. I don't know if you've been here long enough, but Shannon is looking for people to have conversations with so that she can grow her skill of being able to consultate. So since you've heard about it, would you be curious of trying? Reach out. I do believe you are on the Discord, right? No. You don't do that. There's a Musquat starting to scout out. Being like, is this dude someone I can eat? No. I am not edible. I proclaim, mosquitoes, I am not edible. My blood will make you spontaneously combust. Be careful. Maxine, definitely been working on loving baby Dry, as I call her, for years. She's like an inner cheerleader now. That definitely gave me a boost for sure before I got into actual self-therapy. Dry historian. I don't know if this is embarrassing for me to share, but I, up until this very moment, thought you were a guy. Love you just as much, nonetheless. Ooh, a Shongololo, yeah. That's terrifying. I would not touch that thing. I am not scared of anything. Even I touched a spider today. There was a spider stuck in my sink, and it was like running up the side of the sink, and then it was sliding back down. So I took it in my hand and put it on the windowsill, and I was like, yeah, that little spider. That little spider is a little bit happier now. Melt, if I saw something, think that I would know about. It's a friend. That's beautiful. What's his name? Yeah, I get a small profit. I made back what I put in with the initial release. That's what I was curious about. I'm happy to hear that. Even more. It's insane. That book is good, dude. It's nice, and quaint. It serves. I see you, dude. I see you. Melt, the space you created has changed the course of my life. You are worthy of calling yourself a healer, dear friend. Bless you and all the love since the beginning. Again, I take your love and your compliment, but I can't help but just echo it back to you. I am you. Everything you see in me is inside of you. I am no different, no more special, no more enlightened, no more equipped than you are, right? I poop and I have to eat food sometimes, drink water and breathe air. I am human, like you. And as I show up for the part of me that is divine, it becomes easier. It becomes easier. I get stronger, but it is never easy. Thank you. Thank you again, Connor. I see you too, friend, in the same way. Can I get the Discord link? Hmm. Yeah. Thank you for the way you typed it, because that's the way. Like, if you type it normally, they won't let you see it. Thank you, Jovan. Nah, it's cool, Melt. It happens to a lot of people. No worries. But silver linings, now you know. Love you so much. It was just shy to correct people sometimes. It's okay. Dry as a lady. Well, howdy, ma'am. Yeah, Sam is also like, what? I also thought for the longest time that Dry was a dude. Ah, didn't really change anything. Doesn't change anything, right? Suddenly, I started loving Dry Story and more because she's female. Extra love her. Nah. All of you friends are worthy of love. It is time for us to pull a card. I used to have 17 of those as pests. They got too big. Shongololos? They infested our backyard. You had 17 Shongololos? That is a lot. What did you feed them, Isaac? I'm like tripping out. Did I miss something? I never held them as pets. They're just kind of like living here on the farm with us. I'm honestly not sure. They just eat things. Card time! Isaac, what the fuck, bro? What the fuck? Okay, thank you. This one, this card here, huh? All right, all right. They ate something, but probably vegetarian. They had a big tank. They ate whatever fell into the center mass. We're pulling a good card. I feel this one is very much, in line. Shannon, you pulled card number 7, the Trinity. We did talk about faith today, right? And I was listening to, as I mentioned to you, friends, your faith is your fortune. And one of the things that he was talking about actually is the sun, right? The sun that is behind us right now. But I was interpreting it as the sun, as the boy, the sun at first. And then the Trinity arises, from the experience, men and women coming together and then having a child, and then being able to perpetuate men and women coming together and having a child, spiraling. Yeah, there is a there's a spiral as well, right? The universe. Yeah, card number 7, beautifully, perfectly, for you even. Dry is in fact a lady, but I do have more masculine parts. Lots of my protective parts are masculine. They're probably what you're sensing. We sense a being that is loving, Dry Historian. At least that's what I've been seeing. A being that works hard, shows up for herself. Everyone took home all the other ones. Blue, Dry Historian says. I feel like the symbols are made in blue at least. These beings, the mother and father, are literally blue beings as well. Holding them with blue arms. Okay. And no one chose the long boys. So I had an army. I was sitting here like, universe, I need a good message right now. Let's read this. Let's read what this one means, shall we? Card number 7, the Trinity. We talked about faith today as well, right? And I feel like this is so beautiful to me because my family wants me to be faithful in their Trinity. And the fact that we pulled this card is so synchronous. It goes, 3 is a holy, divine number often associated with Christianity as the Trinity of Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. Here, puppy, puppy, My mom is back. And the helicopter is flying over us again. I'll give us a second. Okay. Here, Trinity is transposed to the holy divine creation of family, mother, father, and child. I talked about Mother, the movie, as well today, and one of my friends watched it, right? So that's even crazier. This downward facing triangle symbolizes receptivity to the commitment of your sacred lineage. A triangle of symbols from the Mayan Tzolk'in embodies the intimate Trinity. Ahu designates the Son and the Father aspect of God. Imex is the feminine aspect of God, the mother who nurtures and creates form. Ik is the wind who blows life and humor into being through breath. Pulling this card asks you to open to a greater understanding of the way you relate to your family, to your little daughter Shan, to your parents as well, right? Whether it's blood family or the community you call kin, create in your mind a vision of peace, harmony, and respect. Allow the child at the center of this card to spiral you into appreciation of the ones you call family. Breathe love and humor into this holy trinity. Open your heart and offer yourself to a receptive flow of affection, coming not only from your birth family, but also from all your relations. Honor your connection to and feel love also for the family of humankind. Like, this card was slapping. So synchronous to what we've been going through and what we've been talking about today, huh? Blue is an aura of parenthood, actually. And your little username is blue as well. Or that could even be the internal family and how you treat yourself. Yes, exactly. You are the Trinity as well, after all, right? Mind, body, spirit as the observer. You can't argue with such a message. You can if you want to, alright? I'd be okay with that as well. Part of the tetrahedra meditation I did last night consisted of taking a triangle on the floor and sitting in the middle of it during the meditation. I was like feeling that as well, and I believe that Brother Connor also mentioned his triangle is wobbly, right? So even more triangles. So on point dry. Love you so much. As we love you, Brother Isaac. As I love all of you friends. Thank you. Thank you dearly for joining me. I'm out of here, friendly people. Enjoy today, enjoy yourself, and enjoy others. If you aren't enjoying it, screw whatever it is. Show up. Have faith. that things will get better. Have faith that you are worthy. Have faith that as you show up for yourself, you will be allowed to show up for your life. Have faith that making the right decision is always going to be right. I love you, friends, so much. I wanted to ask how you all feel about the placebo effect, its role in spirituality slash naturo or homeopathy. The placebo effect has been well documented and is a scientific fact. That's the way I feel about it. Calamitous cheese. The stream topic is so on point. You were here for it, Maxine. So are you. Love you, Isaac. Such a pleasure. So much love. Hearts to everyone, and thanks for the stream. Thank you, Yash, for finding yourself here, spending some time with us today. Also, blessing to spend space with you. May a lovely day be, and a lovely tomorrow follow. Mm, thank you. I'm showing up for my tomorrow basically. Katlachter for singing their song of their people again. Not to raise skepticism, but I think it has played an important role in our species' development. But what if you believe that everything is subjective? It is, though, right? Everything is subjective. I think of it from this perspective, and maybe I'll leave us off with this quote: something to be faithful about. That the difference between the richest person in the world and the poorest person in the world is perspective, right? That a person sitting next to a river, completely naked, can convince themselves of their abundance and their connection to the infinity, or can convince themselves that they are without anything, right? And whatever they convince themselves of, whatever they have faith in, becomes their reality, right? We know this about the placebo effect. It is true. It's not a matter of debate, it's reality. The placebo effect works. And weirdly enough, if you give people medication testing the placebo effect and you make that medication harder to pronounce, or you attach it to the fractal of what it's supposed to do, it works better as well. All right? Have faith in yourself. Placebo yourself into being lovingly, if you will. Not to raise everyone. Oh, have the most beautifulest day, everyone. I love you all so very super much and dearly. Melt and all of you absolutely wonderfully splendid friends. Love you, Shan. Again, strength to you, strength to little Lamara. I hope both of you feel better soon. True, love that you mentioned the river. The ferryman is one of my favorite characters of all time. Thanks, Melt and friends. Thank you, Calamitous Cheese. Thank all of you, even if I'm not saying your name. Do you just hear thank you? Yes, I'm talking to you. This version of you that's receiving the thank you. I love you. Toodles to you too. I'll see you again soon. Cheers.